Tonight, first they said deporting him was a mistake. Then they said he was never coming back. But now?
Abrego Garcia has landed in the United States to face justice.
Plus, as the trouble in paradise deepens,
the girls are fighting, aren't they?
President Trump insists he's not even thinking about his former BFF. Also, defunding the Golden State. President Trump's fight with California heats up, and research universities are caught in the middle. And they got a get-out-of-jail-free card from President Trump. Now, 5 Proud Boys are suing the government for $100 million. Live at the table, Bakari Sellers, Scott Jennings, S.E. Cupp, and John Fugelsang. Americans with different perspectives aren't talking to each other, but here they do. Good evening, I'm Abby Phillip for a special edition of Newsnight. This summer, we are taking the show on some field trips. We're spending our Fridays right here at the Food Network's kitchen in New York, our sister company. We have a fabulous chef serving friends of the show, and she has a special treat for us. Don't you worry about that at the end of the night. But in the meantime, let's get right to what America is talking about. The return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, after saying that they mistakenly deported him to El Salvador, a prison there. And after saying that they had no way to get him back, the Justice Department has announced that he is back on American soil. But now he faces charges related to unlawfully transporting migrants for financial gain. And the news was even a surprise to his attorneys.
We learned about it on TV just like the rest of the country.
So why the sudden reversal from the Trump administration? Remember this post from the White House back in April? Their social media team edited the front page of the New York Times and changed the headline to say that Abrego Garcia was, quote, never coming back. And even after the Supreme Court said that the White House needed to facilitate his return, Trump and the DOJ said that their hands were tied. But something over the last 2 months apparently changed.
That's up to El Salvador if they want to return him. That's not up to us. The Supreme Court ruled, President, that if, as El Salvador wants to return him, this is international matters, foreign affairs, if they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane. Our government presented El Salvador with an arrest warrant, and they agreed to return him to our country. We're grateful to President Bukele for agreeing to return him to our country to face these very serious charges.
Even El Salvador's president said Abrego Garcia's return was never going to happen.
The question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
But now President Bukele makes it sound like Abrego Garcia's release was a simple ask. He wrote this on X. We work with the Trump administration, and if they request the return of a gang member to face charges, of course we wouldn't refuse. Joining us at the table is attorney Dante Mills. He is a law professor at Temple University's Beasley School of Law. And this was always a big question in this case, which is the accusation that he was a really bad guy, an MS-13 gang member had been made by the Trump administration, but they never wanted to charge him, it seemed, with those alleged crimes. Now they have, because apparently they've done an investigation, but they could have done this 2.5 months ago.
Well, they could have, and this, to me, it's just political gamesmanship, which you don't want to mix that with our justice system. This is somebody who the administration deemed to be a bad person, so what they're doing is saying, let's go back and dig until we find something that justifies that. So now they're going to bring him back to the country where before they said they couldn't, right? There was no way that they can get him back here or help facilitate it. Now they put this indictment in front of a grand jury. He was indicted not for transporting or bringing people in and out of the country, but for moving people around inside the country. Now what they're saying is we're going to bring him back and prosecute him. That will trump any issues with immigration. So if he's found guilty of this crime, he can be deported, and whatever protections he had in place will go away. So he can, in fact, be deported back to his home country.
Right. Again, they could have done this from the beginning.
A lot of people have had the same conclusion throughout this process. Republicans have made this a political football. And what Democrats have said is that this is about due process. And yes, before we go down this really unique, dark path of are illegal immigrants entitled to due process, the answer is yes. The 5th and 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution says that everybody in the United States of America, regardless of your citizenship or status, has due process. So that is a fundamental right that even illegal immigrants have. So my point to everyone under the sound of my voice for so long was bring him back, go through due process, and if you are convicted of a crime, if you committed a crime, if you are illegal here and have committed a crime, deport them. There is no one who is against that. Please deport him. But he deserves due process like everybody else. And the reason being is because if you don't give Abrego Garcia due process, then the next person they won't give due process is you. And that is a fact. That always happens. It's happened through the history of this country. That is a fact. And if we want to rewrite the Constitution, I see my friend Scott, I don't know if he's shaking his head or if he's shaking his head because of this guy that's behind him that's over there eating. I like being able to see him, but this guy in the back eating his sandwich, he just got up, but you can see him in every shot. I don't know if you're shaking your head at me or him, but the fact is he deserves due process.
You know, I suspect that Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, when he heard that St. Abrego Garcia was coming back, took a shower, put on his nice suit, got on Open Table, found out what maybe party of 2 reservation they could get for tonight so they could continue the bromance they started when he went back to visit St. Abrego in El Salvador. Look, he was not deported because he was a bad guy. He was deported because he was an illegal immigrant living in the country illegally for 14 years, who had gone through due process, who had an existing deportation order. It so happens that it turns out he may in fact well be a really, really bad person that we would not want in the country. Here are his possible outcomes. Number 1, he gets convicted of this stuff and goes to prison for a long time. Number 2, he gets acquitted and goes back to El Salvador, which is what I suspect the White House would do with him if he somehow gets out of these charges. Either way, it's what the White House said all along. There's no future where this man, the Maryland man, goes back to Maryland to live quietly in the suburbs.
But that's not the point, though, Scott. And I'll let you chime in. I mean, you're a better lawyer than I took the bar a couple times. So you probably only had to take it once. So I took it once. Yeah, I had to take it a couple times. So we have it. So we'll deal with that. But my point is, Scott, like due process, I mean, the 5th and 14th.
He had some. He got some.
You don't get some, Scott.
He got
That's
plenty.
the thing. Like,
he got more than he deserved.
You don't get a chance to give me some due process.
Everybody
I need it
has
all or
due
nothing.
process that they're owed. I think we all should agree with that. But there's a second component here where we're talking about selective prosecution. Now they're bringing him back and charging him with this crime for facts that they've known since 2022. There's no new evidence.
Who knew them in 2022?
It's on video.
Who knew them?
The stop was on video.
What administration?
This was investigated and determined that it wasn't anything illegal.
The Biden administration, and they chose to let him go.
But
we have a new administration now.
No, this is selective prosecution. That's not fair.
What you're saying that this happened in 2022 is true, but I do think that the idea that the Trump administration chose only very recently, it seems, to go down this road of actually investigating alleged crimes, that is also something that seems to be pretty clear. And there are some questions about that. I mean, if this guy were on their radar for deportation, for being an MS-13 member, why didn't they investigate this, charge him, and deport him for those crimes? I want to make sure you get in. I just want to note, one of the interesting things about this that we found out today, a 15-year veteran of the U.S. Attorney's Office and the chief of the criminal division in Nashville, a guy named Ben Schrader, he resigned from his position the same week that this went to a grand jury. And according to our reporting, there are concerns that there are cases like this, perhaps this case, that is being politicized. Now, we don't know what that could entail, but clearly the question is being raised.
And we want to get you in, but he also said very cryptically, when he resigned, he said, the years that I've been here, I've done things the right way, right thing.
He says, the only job description I've ever known is to do the right thing in the right way for the right reasons. That's what he wrote on LinkedIn.
I mean, there's a reason I'm not yelling to jump in, and that's because what no one is saying is we don't know who he is or what he's done. You don't know that he's a bad guy, and you don't know that he's a good guy. I'm not saying either of you have said that. I'm just saying this man has become a poster child for the left and the right, while no one knows who he is or what he did. That's the problem, because this case was handled so badly. And the incompetence, putting aside the emotional aspect on both sides of this, the incompetence in the way that this was handled, we'll shoot first, ask questions later. We're going to deport him first and then find the crime. We're going to say we can't bring him back and then we're going to bring him back. We don't know what he did. Now, he got indicted by a grand jury. A grand jury, as we all know, can indict a ham sandwich. But this is our process, and I'm willing to trust the process. If they find through this process that he broke the law, in addition to breaking the law by coming in here illegally, I grant you that, Scott, he should be punished for that. But everyone has decided who this man is before anyone knows what he did.
Can I just play one thing? This is Texas Representative Vicente Gonzalez, who actually raised some questions for Democrats about how they've handled this case. Listen.
And I've said from the very beginning, when I read, cases and complaints against him, I knew that he wasn't no little angel, and I thought we had a potential criminal on our hands. And if this turns out to be a legitimate indictment, which I assume it would be, he's going to have to face charges here in the United States. So certainly, I don't think we should be advocating for Abrego Garcia as if he's some, Johnny Appleseed, as I said, because he's not. But we should be advocating for rule of law in America, and that we respect federal judicial court orders.
That's my point. And and to Essie, just to push back on Essie, I'm not saying that he's a great guy. I know you said that wasn't attributed to us.
Right.
No one is saying that.
Well, no one.
I am.
Because
I will
plenty
literally
of Democrats,
say that.
Plenty of Democrats
How about this?
He's a family man.
How about this?
He's a dad from
What I am saying is family man, illegal, undocumented, whatever.
Criminal.
What I am saying is that he deserves due process.
Of course.
And that is my only point. That's my point from the beginning.
That's your only point.
But, and that's
not
fine.
been the narrative that
I get
Democrats
an
or
opportunity.
Republicans have
That's
been
fine,
making.
and I get an opportunity in front of a million people watching
Due
Abby right
process
now.
isn't also you can just make me some kind of poster child and turn the Justice Department against me. That's what's happening here.
Guys, you all.
This guy wouldn't have been.
You all
he was
are
in a car on video.
You all are completely downplaying what we know. We know plenty about this person.
What?
We know that he lived in the country illegally for 14 years.
said
I know
that.
it's okay with you.
I said that.
That's
That's
number
not
one.
a,
We know.
time
we
out.
know.
Time out. No.
We know.
That's
We know.
not a. That is not
Why-
okay
why-
with me. But
why-
that's
why-
not.
why not get defensive?
But that's not a.
Hold on,
But that is
hold on.
literally.
First of all, we all know that you both
Supreme
interrupt
Court
each other all
knows
the time.
that is not a crime.
To live in the country illegally?
That's not a crime. That's a status offense. Stop telling people stuff that's
Okay.
not true.
I am just, my mind is so blown here.
Go ahead and
by the
finish.
last 2 nights
Scott,
with you about
It's
this
not a
illegal
criminal
immigration.
offense.
Bakari,
It's
just
a
give.
violation.
Can
It's
we
a-
give?
It's a civil violation.
Bakari, can we give Scott?
So
a
he's
but-
in the
finish,
country
please?
illegally
Thank
14
you.
years. That's number one. We also know what his wife told the courts and law enforcement about him. That he was violent, that he beat her.
But he's not being charged with that.
That he
That's
was.
hearsay.
That he was. So you said we don't know if he's a bad guy.
We don't.
I trust his wife when she runs off and says, "Please protect me from
What
this
if his
man."
wife said, this man's
Prosecute
great?
him.
You
And
wouldn't
so,
trust her?
prosecute him.
and so
That's
you're
insane.
acting like we don't know things.
Prosecute
We do know
him.
things. We
Prosecute
know.
him.
And so,
Prosecute.
at a minimum, what we know should be more than enough for anybody at this table to say, yes, please
Scott,
get
let
him
me
the
ask you
hell
this.
out.
Let me ask you
No,
this. Do you
the
think,
hell-
Prosecute him.
let me ask you this. Do you think they charged him to try to save face? Yes or no? Honestly,
I think
do
they
you
charged him
believe
because
they
he
charged him
committed
with a crime
crimes.
to try to save face? Yes or no?
I
So,
think they charged him because he
Scott.
committed serious crimes, apparently.
Scott,
That's why
can
they
we,
charged
can we
him.
agree on this? He
Last
should
word,
be
Bakari.
prosecuted for domestic violence. He should be prosecuted for every crime he committed. And when he's found guilty, he should be deported.
I think he should be deported anyway, regardless of this other stuff.
That-
to me,
but-
the only issue that
so
ever
does
really
the con-
mattered was that he was in the country illegally.
Does the Constitution work or not?
Yeah, and he had a deportation
But now we're
order. Agree or
bringing it
disagree?
into where
Okay.
the Justice Department is being
He
used
had a
for political
deportation order.
reasons, and that shouldn't happen.
We're gonna hit pause on this conversation, but look, I mean, you're right. He had, he was in proceedings, and the proceedings were determining where he could go. They sent him to the wrong place. Honestly, the judge just said bring him back so that he can finish that process
Face
and be sent
justice.
to the
That's
right
face
place.
justice.
And the
Prosecute
Trump
him.
administration could have done this
Deport
2.5 months ago. They
And
didn't,
should've,
and it is
Correct.
perplexing. Now we have charges. We'll see what happens to with the charges. In this country, whether you're legal or illegal, you're innocent until proven guilty. We'll let this play out. We'll continue to follow it. Dante Mills, thank you very much with your first pass at the bar exam. That's why you're at this table. Thank you very much. Coming up next, the bad breakup is getting worse with the president's agenda on the line. And now a source tells CNN that Trump is asking his aides if Musk's behavior could be related to his alleged drug use. Back in a moment from the Food Network kitchen.